What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA
playoffs, Tuesday, July 20th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, NBA Finals. Let's take a look at this NBA Showdown between the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Jrue Holiday from the Milwaukee Bucks playing the Phoenix Suns. Jrue Holiday has averaged 36.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. He scored 61, 40, and 44 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 41, 42, and 40 minutes. He's projected at 42 fantasy points here tonight, and he's one of my favorite plays on the slate, so I like Jrue Holiday here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, another point guard that I like is Chris Paul from the Phoenix Suns, and Chris Paul has averaged 37.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. He scored 42, 20, and 32 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 35, 36, and 33 minutes. He's projected at 41 fantasy points here tonight, and his price has come down a little bit, so he's one of my favorite plays on the slate. So I like Chris Paul here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Devin Booker from the Phoenix Suns, and he averaged 37.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He scored 56, 45, and 19 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 41, 38, and 29 minutes. He had a 43% usage rate in both of his last 2 games. He's projected at 39.6 fantasy points here tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if he scored 40 fantasy points or more. He is definitely one of my favorite plays on the slate. You can even save a little salary going with Devin Booker over Chris Paul. So I like Devin Booker here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, now if you're looking for a value play here, take a look at Pat Connington from the Milwaukee Bucks. He averaged 17 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 23 minutes per game with a 12% usage rate, but he scored 21, 22, and 18 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 31, and 30 minutes. So I like that he's played over 30 minutes a game for the last 3 games. He's projected at 20 fantasy points here tonight. His salary's low, so I like Pat Connington as a value play here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Chris Middleton from the Milwaukee Bucks. He averaged 36.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. He scored 41, 58, and 36 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 44, 43, and 40 minutes. He's projected at 44 fantasy points here tonight, and he's one of my favorite plays on the slate, so I like Chris Middleton here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, now if you're looking for a high risk, high reward value play, take a look at Macau Bridges from the Phoenix Suns. He averaged 26.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. He scored 26, 16, and 8 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 32, 25, and 27 minutes. So you can see he's like a hit or miss player. He's either going to make or break your lineup. He's projected at 25.5 fantasy points here tonight, so I like Macau Bridges as a high-risk, high-reward tournament play here versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. He averaged 53.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He scored 52, 69, and 68 fantasy points in his last 3 games, playing 40, 42, and 37 minutes. He's projected at 58.2 fantasy points here tonight. He's a lock in your lineup. You gotta play this guy. Chances are that he's not gonna flop, so I wouldn't fade Giannis. So I like Giannis Antetokounmpo here versus the Phoenix Suns. I also like Jay Crowder from the Phoenix Suns, and he averaged 21.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 27 minutes per game with a 16% usage rate. But take a look at his last 3 games. He scored 27, 44, and 30 fantasy points in his last 3 games, playing 40, 39, and 32 minutes. So he's playing monster minutes the past couple of games, and his production has been great. He's projected at 30 fantasy points here tonight, so I like Jay Crowder here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, if you're looking to save a little bit of salary, you could take a look at Bobby Portis, although I think I would just pay up for Jay Crowder over Bobby Portis. You're going to get close to double the minutes on the court. Although Bobby Portis is a point per minute monster, I think Jay Crowder has much more upside for his price point. And if you're looking to save a ton of salary, he's super low salary, he's not very productive, but he is out there for plenty of minutes. You can take a look at PJ Tucker, who's playing, he played 24 minutes last game, 29 the game before that, and 29 the game before that. So his minutes have come down a little bit, and which makes him a little bit more risky because he really needs to be out there for 30 plus minutes to hit value. So I would shy away from PJ Tucker, but he does have a little potential because his salary is so low. But I think the play of the slate looks like Jay Crowder, who's playing close to 40 minutes with 30 plus fantasy point upside. Okay, let's take a look at the center position. I like DeAndre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns, and he averaged 33.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. He scored 41, 41, and 33 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 44, 38, and 24 minutes. He's projected at 38 fantasy points here tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if he could score 40 fantasy points or more. I think he's a good play here tonight, so I like DeAndre Ayton here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. And just like last game, I'm going to shy away from Brook Lopez. Just doesn't look like he's got the upside for his salary anymore. Since Giannis came back, his production has fell off a cliff. Although he did play 28 minutes last game, only scored 13 fantasy points. So I'm going to shy away from Brook Lopez here versus the Phoenix Suns.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.